Sunday, 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 Sunday. Let's see, are we live? Just calling things up here on my laptop. Make sure that everything is running. Make sure you guys can hear me. Sunday, Sunday. Seems so. All right, I see people hopping on. Amazing. Let me know where you are joining me from. We are coming to you live from Costa Rica. From a cloudy Tamarindo, Costa Rica, Guanacaste. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Meg. I am very excited to be here with you all. I am the chef. I am in charge of the restaurant and the food at Rythmia. However, my team takes care of the day-to-day running the restaurant operations. I do various other things there at Rythmia, including helping just keep the guests, you know, in the know, understanding what the program's all about. I also teach yoga. I help with the dance class. I teach several of the workshops and do various other things operationally at Rythmia. Currently, I'm just going to tuck my baby's high chair in there. Currently, Rythmia is not open because of what is going on in the world. So the borders here in Costa Rica have just recently started to reopen, and we're very excited about that. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys with us live in person at Rythmia sometime very, very soon. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in to these various Facebook Lives offered currently by many different members of our team here at Rythmia. So I'm here on Sundays, every Sunday. Again, if this is you're just tuning in for the first time, typically sharing food ideas, inspiration, recipes, food for thought, food philosophies, things like that. Hello, John O'Brien. John's watching from Scotland. Alice Ripley is here. Hey, Alice, good to see you. Yeah, if you're on here and I see there's a lot of you, please shoot me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. So I've been doing these Facebook Lives from home ever since the middle of March, and I figured, why do I keep getting dressed up all the time? You guys are here in my home. I want to give you the real deal, so I'm coming to you live in my yoga gear. I haven't even washed my hair yet. This is Sunday. This is most days around here. We're very much in quarantine around my home. Pablo says hello. Hello, Pablo. Nice to see you. Terry Pearson, my mother, is watching. She's watching live from Ontario. Marie Skinner says, yeah, if she wishes to get away, me too. Pablo's watching from North Carolina, USA. Marie's saying she's watching from Montana. John Baker's watching from Thousand Oaks, California. So fun. I'm gonna take my glasses off. My new glasses, newish glasses. Yeah, so I came to you guys in my yoga gear. Did my workout, went for a walk this morning, and decided this week that we were going to talk about tomatoes. And isn't it fitting? Funny thing, I was on video call with my mom this morning. We were both joking because we had not washed our hair yet, and I still haven't. I'm sure she has by now. And she shared with me that she had just finished making a batch of tomato soup base from all of her fresh tomatoes from the garden in Ontario, Canada, and I have to admit I'm a little bit jealous. Azriel says, hey sister, from the same universe, mister. Yeah, watching from the Bay of Fundy, New Brunswick. Awesome. Just making sure I'm still live because my internet has cut out here on my computer. So I think we're still good to go. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, please, I'd love to know, say hello in the comments, let me know where you're watching from. Today we are talking about tomatoes, and I'm going to show you a couple of really easy recipes. I'm not going to be making a tomato soup base. Mind you, that would be a really quick and easy thing to do for us. What I am going to show you guys here today is two recipes. One of them that I serve at Rythmia as part of the a la carte menu. So at Rythmia, if you don't know, we specialize in medicine, herbal support therapy, and we several nights of the week, Monday through Thursday, most of our guests do not eat dinner because of the part of the program. They'll be going to ceremony that night. So I serve an a la carte menu to the people on the staff that are going to be eating dinner and any of the guests that will not be taking part in those ceremonies. And one of those things on the a la carte menu is a Hasselbeck tomato caprese salad. So we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to do a couple of other things. So to get rocking and rolling, we're going to start with a non-tomato recipe. Well, actually, no, we're going to start with a tomato recipe. So I went to my local farmer's market yesterday. Hi, Donna. Oh my God, so good to see you here, Donna. Donna is coming to us, joining us from her yoga mat. I want to show you guys something. So I went to the farmer's market yesterday in town here, and we have an awesome organics provider there. But yesterday was Mother's Day here in Costa Rica. So at the farmer's market, not only did I get my tomatoes, but I got this amazing bouquet of flowers. Like, what? So I got obviously roses and sunflowers, and I'm not sure, I forget what the name of these. These are just the little yellow flowers. And my partner Levi bought these for me for Mother's Day because in Costa Rica, Mother's Day falls on August the 15th, regardless of the day of the week. It doesn't always fall on a Sunday. So yesterday was a Saturday and it was Mother's Day, August the 15th. So I get to celebrate Mother's Day twice a year. And yes, these are not in a vase. They are in an empty protein powder container because our vase is not at home. We have it at the tattoo shop right now. So this was my makeshift. It's an empty protein powder, and I didn't have anything else tall enough. So Mother's Day in Costa Rica is August 15th, and then I also get to celebrate when it is the Mother's Day in North America. So I get a double celebration. Thank you, Paolo. He's saying Happy Mother's Day. So I might just leave these here because they are so beautiful and smell so lovely. So back to the tomatoes. I picked up a couple of different kinds of tomatoes. I picked up just some organics. Like, these were delicious, so ripe, and they were just smelling so good. So we're gonna use those. And I also picked up these little heirloom style cherry tomatoes. So what I've gone and done here so far already is just slice them all in half and throw them on this tray, and we're just gonna do a really quick and easy roast on them. So I'm gonna take about 20 minutes. So I'm just grabbing my microplane, my rasp, whatever you want to call it, and a clove of garlic. So this is just one clove of garlic, and I'm going to take the skin off. If you guys tuning in here, guys, let me know where you're watching from. Say hello in the comments. Share this video if you know anyone that has a plethora of tomatoes in their garden right now that might want some simple ideas for using the tomatoes. So easy. Last week here, so I'm going to take this garlic clove and I'm just going to grate it over my tomatoes here. So last week here on my Facebook Live, I didn't do a cooking demo. I had spoke about just food and food freedom, essentially, and how important I think it is that we all start to embrace the notion that diets don't work, that there's no real, sorry, I always want to wash that thing right after I use it so that nothing dries out in the tiny little blades. That there's no longevity in these strict diets that we tend to follow, and it's really important that we all, where did I put the salt? There it is. That we all start to fall back in line with how nature intended us to eat, which is very intuitively, and getting back to wellness without all the obsession that we've added into the mix. So that was what I talked about. If you want to go back and check out last week's Facebook Live, I'm going to be doing a lot more talks like that in the coming weeks. So I'm putting a bit of olive oil on here, and by a bit, I mean I'm doing a generous couple of glugs. I want these to roast up real nice. And I'm also going to put a tiny bit of balsamic vinegar. So this is just an aged balsamic. Yum. Not too much of this. Just want to have a little bit of zip. One of these and just give them a stir. Normally I would just use my hands. I just don't want to get them all oily and have to waste my time giving them a good scrub while we're live. So just trying to mix that garlic in, give them a good coat in the olive oil. I've got my oven preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm just going to toss that in, easy breezy. Adriel says, way to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did with she's talking about using this protein powder container to house my flowers. So I'm going to put those in there. And those are going to roast away while we begin to work on a couple of other quick things here. So, I can hear my daughter having the time of her life in her bedroom right now with her father. So we're gonna make these. I think I've made these on here on the Facebook Live before, but in case you missed it, we're gonna make this into we're gonna make a soca pizza crust. Soca pizza crust. So I've added a bit of chickpea flour into my bowl, just garbanzo flour, really easy. I'm gonna toss in some mixed herbs. Again, I've misplaced the salt. A little bit of sea salt. So I've got about 2.5 cups of water, and I'm gonna add in some water just to get to like a batter for pancakes. Easy breezy. All we're looking for, it's not science, we don't need to measure so much, is we just want to add enough water that when we whisk this all together, it becomes like the batter for pancakes. Really, really easy. And the longer it's going to sit here combined, the thicker it's going to get. So I've got a little fry pan on the stove there, warming up. And then that's going to sit here and just wait for us. In the meantime, I'm going to make something else. I've got my blender here. I'm going to make a fake cheese. So I normally, when I make these caprese Hasselback tomatoes, I use a cashew cheese cream as the cheese in the caprese. But today, I didn't have any cashews, so I decided to try something different. So I'm using some sunflower seeds. So I got about 1.5 cups here. Then I had about 3/4 cup of hemp hearts. And these are just me using up what I've got in my pantry. So I'm gonna put those into my blender. You could use, if you don't have a high-powered blender, don't stress about it. A little bit of cumin. I just like that warmth that it brings. Sea salt. Look at my hair, it looks like a mess. I tried to clip it because it was falling into my eye a little bit. It's just finally starting to get long enough to do that. And I'm not used to that. I haven't had hair this long in, oh good grief, a long time, a decade maybe. Okay, now I'm gonna add in my favorite ingredient for making fake cheeses. Hi Tiffany Lynn, I love you, welcome. Nutritional yeast. So you've seen me, if you've been watching these, you know I love it. It's an inactive yeast. It smells kind of like stinky feet, a little bit cheesy like, great for when you're doing vegan cheeses. And I added a whole 1/4 cup in there because I want it really, really cheesy. Pablo says, you scared me when you said Mother's Day was yesterday. I was like, oh crap, I forgot to tell my mother. Yeah, only in Costa Rica, my friends. I had a couple people messaging me on Instagram yesterday because I posted these. And they were like, what, it's Mother's Day, what? I was like, no, just in Costa Rica, don't worry, you're fine, as long as you're not living in Costa Rica. But that's the beauty, I get to celebrate it twice. So I'm adding some water here, and then I'm gonna throw this onto my blender. And I get, like, if you're just tuning in, this is gonna be our vegan cheese, and it's sunflower seeds and hemp seed base. High-powered blender makes short work of it. Oh, it smells so good. Look at that. So it's super thick and like cream cheesy. So now I'm going to scrape this into a jar for safe keeping while we work on some other stuff. So everybody, where are we in? We're halfway through August. I know that back to school is a big thing already. For certain parts of the world, whether it means you're going back to school online, you're going back to school in person. I know that this is a time that people tend to head back into routine after a summer of being really loose with things. So I want to know, like, what kind of stuff would you guys like to see in my upcoming videos? Is there any kind of information, recipes, meal prep ideas you guys might like to see? Let me know. So I got this. Let me just give this a little rinse. Okay, look at this. So we got that. I'm reusing an empty salsa jar for that. So that is our cheese. This is also going to be replacing another ingredient here today because I'm all about substituting. If you've watched me, you know I'm always substituting. Hey Grace, welcome. Nancy is watching from Bay City, Michigan. I see that there's a bunch of new people watching that have just joined in the last few minutes. Please let me know in the comments. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Grace Marie, tomatoes, not rotten tomatoes. Okay, so I've got my food processor over here. The next thing we're gonna make is hummus. We're doing all of the things. Oh, so this thing is preheated. This thing, it's a frying pan. It's preheated, so I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. This is a avocado coconut oil blend oil, so I'm gonna put some of that down. And then I'm gonna add some of this batter. So this was the chickpea flour batter. Since my pan's hot, I'm just gonna put it over here. And I'm just gonna put enough to fill the base of this fry pan, because I want to just make a little, it's going to be the base of a kind of a flatbread pizza idea. We're doing some sokas here. So there we go. You can see the herbs in there. It smells delicious. I'm going to let that cook a little bit like I would a pancake, and then I'm going to flip it. All right. What else are we doing? I've got so much going on here. Did you see my flowers for Mother's Day? Okay. Into the food processor. What do I have here? I have some pre-cooked chickpeas. So these are garbanzos. It's about 2 cups worth. I'm going to throw those into my mini food processor here. Making a mess, dirtying all the dishes here today. Then I'm going to add in another clove, 1 clove of garlic. Smash. It's the easiest way to get the skin off. Just give it a good smash and the skin peels right off. I'm going to dump that in. I'm going to add the juice of half of a lime, because I didn't have a lemon. But wait, there's more. So this is going to give us that tang and that sourness that we like. I like normally a lot of lemon in my hummus, but I don't have a lot here today. Like I said, we're using what we have, and I forgot to buy more lemons at the market yesterday. But what I do have is I have some lemon essential oil, so I'm going to drop a few drops of that in. It's the same idea as using like lemon zest, essentially. I'm also going to add in some za'atar, because I had it in the cupboard. So this is sesame seeds, there's thyme, there's sumac. There's usually a bit of wheat in it, so just if you're gluten intolerant, make sure you check your labels. But it's a really great Lebanese spice mix. That's going to give me a bit of the sesame that I'm going to be missing. Because I don't have tahini, what I'm going to use is some of that sunflower seed cheese that I just made as my fat. Instead of adding in a ton of olive oil and stuff, I'm going to add in a couple scoops of this, and this is going to replace the tahini in that recipe. So we're doing double duty here, just like that. Then a bit more salt. We got to season all layers. See, I'm talking about diets. This whole salt-free, sugar-free, oil-free way, like the SOS diet, no thank you. I want to taste my food and friggin' enjoy my food, so a little bit of salt goes a long way for that. Diets are boring and life is too short for that shit. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna blend this. Actually, no. I am gonna add a tiny bit of olive oil. Sorry guys, I forgot about that. Looks and smells delicious. Well, this is waiting for me. I'm gonna give this thing a little flip. See that? Ready for it? Da, 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 da. I did it. Did you guys catch that? Can we see that in slow-mo? Just kidding. You can't get an instant replay, but I did just flip that without making a mess, which is kind of a big deal for me. All right. So I'm going to just turn that burner off and let it sit there, because the residual heat from the pan is going to do all the cooking that I need for that. Let me know, you guys, where you're watching from. Say hello. Say hello. My name is Meg. If you're just joining me, I am in charge of the food at Rythmia and do a bunch of other stuff, teach classes, workshop, yoga, dance. You're seeing me live here in my home kitchen in my yoga clothes with my Mother's Day flowers, and we're talking about tomato recipes. So we're doing a lot of different stuff here. So I've got this soka flatbread going. I'm going to get my hummus going here now. So sorry, it's gonna be loud for a sec. What I'm going to do is I'm going to this is one of the pieces of my food processor. I'm going to add a bit of water in here. Because I used an essential oil over an actual juice of a whole lemon, because I didn't have the lemon, I want to add a bit more liquid in there just to help get it really pureed. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go again here. Plug your ears. She says, that was awesome. My flip, she caught it. Sinan says, hey, from Atlanta. Okay, so what are we doing here, you guys? We've got the hummus, we've got the flatbread. Tomatoes smell absolutely divine. You want to see a Hasselbeck caprese tomato? That's what you want next. So I'm gonna grab a plate. Got my perfect tomato. And what we want to do here is, if you've ever done Hasselbeck potatoes, that's kind of the more common thing. It's when you slice the potatoes so they kind of look like porcupines. Like they have like ridges, but you don't slice them all the way through, so they're this beautiful accordion shape. We're gonna do the same idea with this tomato. Can you guys see? Yes, I think you can. So I'm gonna take my tomato, I'm gonna take my knife, I'm just gonna start slicing. This knife is not the best knife. A serrated knife is better to get through the skin. Whoops. This does not go in there. So I'm gonna grab my serrated knife to do this. So I'm just gonna slice, and I'm not gonna slice all the way through. See what I'm doing? You can hear Levi, my partner, singing with my daughter in the other room. So bless them. There we go. And this end of the tomato is a little bit mush. So there we go. See what I mean? It's like a little accordion now. Juice is leaking everywhere. Place it on my plate. Oh, this tomato is like perfectly right, you guys. Absolute gorgeousness. Okay. Look at this. Look at how beautiful that tomato is. Tomatoes, I have to say, are an ingredient that are hard to come by here in Costa Rica in really great quality. It's not one of the super local indigenous fruits, but some of the organic providers have nailed it, and they're growing them in the Central Valley, where the environment is a little bit cooler than where I live, and lends itself better to fruits and vegetables like this. So we have that. A bada boom, bada bing. So then, let's gonna get this out of the way. You guys can see. Perfect. So then we take some of our cheese. So this was our sunflower seed, hemp seed cheese, and we want to put a little dollop in between, hiding behind my flowers, in between every one of the accordion weaves. Weaves, is that what we would call them? Accordion sleeves. Like so. I mean, and this is like the easiest recipe. It's not even a recipe. You could use any kind of cheese you want. You could use slices of mozzarella in between, but it's just the most beautiful way to present a salad, a caprese salad. So we've got our vegan cheese, and then I didn't have any fresh herbs handy, but what I did have was some beautiful leaves of lettuce. So I'm gonna just slide some lettuce around here. Maybe I'll slide one down the middle like so. A little bit of lettuce under. I could have put some lettuce right underneath. That would have been lovely, but pure vita. That looks kind of dorky, so I'm not gonna go any more than that. A bada boom, bada bing for a little bit of green. And then, if you guys were watching a few weeks back, we made this live, which is the balsamic reduction. So this was just balsamic cooked down. You can add a bit of sugar, and then you drizzle a little bit of that on top. Delicious, beautiful, so much color, so delicious. So there's the one easy way. And you could just eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner to use up tomatoes that you have. You could put scrambled eggs inside the Hasselback. You could do pieces of turkey bacon, whatever you want to do. Easy breezy. Have every time you have people over, this is what you serve them for their appetizer. The other way we can use up tomatoes is like this. Oh my God, this smells so good, you guys. I wish this was smell-o-vision. So we've roasted these off. These are the balsamic herbs. Balsamic roasted cherry tomatoes. So easy. And then what we do with this, we made that really quick soak up flatbread. Put that on a plate. Easy breezy. That's your pizza crust. And then we take, dirty another spoon here, some of our hummus. So we got chickpea on chickpea action here. This is gonna be the base, so we spread that on. You could do a sun-dried tomato pesto or a basil pesto instead of the hummus here, which would be, it's usually what I do actually, but I didn't have sun-dried tomatoes. I was gonna make some yesterday and I didn't get around to it. And I didn't have any basil to make pesto. So we got that. And then we just take some of these beautiful guys. drop those bad boys all on there. I'm gonna put that cloth. Drizzle that with some fresh herbs and more balsamic, and you have a super satisfying little mini soca pizza because the garbanzo crust is super filling. Then you got the hummus and then the rich sweet and sour of and tang of the tomatoes. So good. These tomatoes kind of keep in the fridge for 5 days. Throw them onto pasta, throw them onto avocado toast, throw them into soups. Eat them as they are because they are like candy. This is like the best way to use up tomatoes, and it doesn't have to be cherry tomatoes. You could use like a regular one of these guys and just slice it into slices and do the exact same thing. Again, it was just olive oil, tiny bit of balsamic. I mixed herbs today. It was a herb de Provence that I put on there. Oh wait, no, it was just oregano. Straight up oregano that I put on there. Some really great sea salt, and you're laughing. So good. Hey Cindy, Cindy's watching from Seattle. Pablo says it looks delicious. What about the other fruits? Which other fruits? Did you ask me another question that I didn't answer? Let me see. How to prepare ayahuasca. Ha 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 ha. I don't know that secret. You're gonna have to talk to a shaman about that because that is a very sacred brew. Mother ayahuasca. Mother nature. All connected. So beautiful. All right, my friends, please share this video if you know of anyone that might be interested. Again, if you are not already subscribed to the Rythmia newsletter, please do that so you can get all of the great updates about what's going on with Rythmia, notifications about when all of these lives are happening. Jerry has just shared and announced publicly that we are renovating all of the guest rooms, which is super exciting. We've always been getting close to 5-star reviews from every single guest that's been through at Rythmia, and the one area that they do really see, that we have seen needs a bit of improvement by viewer survey was the rooms, because they were a little bit outdated, so we are updating all of those. We've started that project. Hopefully, not hopefully, they will be done by the 1st of November, which is when we hope to be able to start welcoming people back somewhat with somewhat normalcy. So make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter so you can stay updated on all of that cool stuff that's happening. Marjo says, hey ho from Covelo, Cotton Dandy, and me. Aw, so good to see you. Thank you for joining. Apologies, we're just wrapping up, but if you are just catching the back end of this, you can, catch the archived version. All of our Facebook Lives live forever on the Rythmia Facebook page under videos. So you can scroll back, and we've been doing these since October of 2017. What? Yeah, crazy. So you won't have any shortage of videos from myself and Jerry and Dr. Jeff and John Jacob and Paula and Kim Terranova, and there's just so much information and ways for you to learn about and connect to the team at Rythmia before you make your way down here. Have a beautiful rest of your day, you guys. I can't wait to see you again next Sunday. In the meantime, ciao for now.